Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's going.
There you go. So let's open up the meeting. We haven't met in a while, right? I think it's been like...
We met in March,
We met
actually.
in March, we had a.
Oh, you guys had
Yeah,
met
we
with,
did.
Eric was here. That's right, I couldn't make that one.
We had a quorum, actually.
Yeah, good.
And we have some minutes.
Yeah.
If we can review those, because I don't think I've actually seen those, but I might have, I don't remember. We have a new member who has joined us, but he's not going to be here this time. He will be here in May, Luke McNeil. So we'll be back up to 4 people, probably, hopefully on a regular basis. And I think we've just discussed that. I think our current 4th or 5th member, however you look at him, has not been responding. So we're
Right.
probably going to have to see about
Yep.
cleaning that spot out and maybe
Yep.
finding someone else to fill it. So I'll work with Suzanne on that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I've talked to him, and he basically, I saw him at the pizza place one night, and he said, gee, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it.
It's okay. I mean, it's a volunteer thing, so understand.
And he was gonna write a letter. I thought he was gonna, but he never did.
Okay. Let's just do a quick review of the minutes so we can approve the minutes.
If you would benefit, Brad, we kinda get off on this subject about
Yeah, I see that.
budget and an over 55 zone, and we decided, is this really economic development? It's not trying to get business in, you know?
It's tax-based, though.
Tax
It's a
base.
Which is
tax-based
economic.
Issue, yeah.
Right.
And so we took a vote, we decided that it was economic
We're not the
development.
business committee, we're still economic
We're trying to bring in
development.
bring in some tax revenue.
Right.
Yeah, I was the one that particularly brought it up, because I don't know if you've ever been to Pine Hills in Plymouth.
No.
You gotta go there. Everybody's got this idea that you have to have 60-foot wide roads and half-acre lots or 1-acre lots and everything. In Pine Hills, well, I ran some stuff off of the computer. I've been there probably, I just love the place. I've probably been there 20, 30 times. Let's go to Pine Hills today. But anyway, road.
Are you letting us know you're moving there soon?
No, I never.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Oh, but they really think so, because I sign in every time, and he thinks this one's hot, she must be coming. But anyway, it's one of the things it said, the road layouts changed from the standard 60 foot to as little as 18 feet.
2-car wide.
Yep, 18 feet. And design speeds decreased from 40 to 20 miles an hour, allowing for the natural twists and turns of the land and the narrow widths to naturally slow down the traffic. There's no minimum lot size.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep, there's no minimum lot size. And houses, instead of, how we get, everything's gotta be 50 feet from the
Yeah.
street, they're right up to the street. Difference is, though, that they do own the streets, they're all part of the homeowners association. Town
makes
does not
sense.
manage the streets. So
It's a development.
Yeah, they manage their own streets.
Are they treated as condos or houses?
Some are single family, some are condos. It's
Because
a
they're
lot of
building,
mixed
do you know
use.
about the one they're building off of Chalklog right now?
No.
So I only know this because one of my friend's parents is moving in
Yep,
there.
right.
So if you go down Chalklog
Yep.
to 146A,
Yep, yep.
car washes to the right,
Yep.
right to the left, like right around the corner there,
Okay.
they're basically building an adult community,
Yep.
which what I was explaining to me, I haven't seen it yet. They're houses, single-family
Right,
houses,
right.
but they literally are arms distance apart from each
Exactly,
other.
yep.
And so they're set up kind of in a condo townhome-ish style.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if we can actually learn what they're doing over there and see if
Yeah.
maybe we can
Well, I'll tell you.
pull off of that. They're building them now.
What's going on in Plymouth is unbelievable. One of the things, because they wrote a thing about, I got this off of the internet. Let's see. For the town of Plymouth, the Pine Hills, of course, this is a lot bigger project than anything.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Has created more than 730 million in the new tax base with annual gross revenues of 10 million.
Huh? He has 12, I think, Heaney has 12 acres, I think, over there?
Yeah, he's got about.
Something like that.
Yeah, and if you, the thing is, if you didn't have a lot size, and, everybody's got this thing in their head, they have to have a certain lot size. People who are over 55, if you've got a house that's about 2,000
They want to
square
downsize.
feet,
Yeah,
and
they
you-
want to downsize.
And you've got a 2,000 square foot little lot behind you, that's about all you need.
Yeah, they don't want to maintain it, they want to
No,
downsize.
and usually what they do is because they're all close together, they kind of work on condo type of idea where
That's fine.
landscaping and everything
Totally,
is
yeah.
taken care of, and so they don't have to
So
do
have you
any
been
of that.
able to get in touch with Dan yet, or not?
I did.
And
He was all in favor of it.
Really?
He thought it was a great idea. In fact, they told him, he said, we gotta go. He's never been to Pine Hills either.
so is this something? So next step is that
well-
to talk to the zoning.
Talk to the town and see.
Talk to Bill then,
Matt.
right? That would be
Probably
a-
Matt. I would say Matt Wojcik.
Talk to Matt
I'd
first?
say we talk to Matt.
Or maybe Matt and Bill probably, because Bill would
Right.
have to also figure
Right.
a lot of logistics in that
Well,
one.
you know what happens though, is we need to get somebody who hasn't got it locked in their head over the lot sizes.
Well, who controls the lot sizes?
Well, right now, it's in control of zoning.
That's my point.
So
So
at
it's
some
zoning
point,
that
the
does that.
zoning would have to be changed.
Yeah.
But you could also do an exception. I
Yeah.
don't assume you have to make changing for zoning for the entire town.
Oh, no, you rezone, you do an overlay or something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
So my action item out of this last meeting was to look and see what other towns are doing for the senior or over 55
Right.
zoning. And I looked at Uxbridge's. They actually have a age-restricted development.
Was that the one I'm talking about, or
Well,
something else?
No, this isn't
Okay.
really. This is the, when you go off Route 16,
On the right hand
Oh, I know,
side,
on the
I know
right-hand
exactly.
side.
it's on the
what-
right
yeah,
up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's 60
yeah.
acres and.
Right.
and
Those are standard lots, if I remember
Right,
right
I
in
think they're
there.
kind of standard size.
It's kind of written around that. And you
Yeah,
have to have a
yeah.
deed restriction.
Right, right, for
It's
the age.
written in the deeds
Oh, yeah.
for the age,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
But I also looked at,
Yeah.
I looked at Berlin's and I looked at Holliston.
Yeah,
They're almost the same.
Yeah.
They have, the zoning bylaws actually tell you that nobody under 55 can live there.
Right, right.
Or you have to have one over
Right.
55 living there.
right, right.
And if somebody under 55 is living there, you have to have a special, you get 2 years before you have to leave. And you're out of there.
Really?
If somebody moves in that's less than
Oh, wow.
55.
Or is it the situation, like, say someone was over 55 but had a young wife and then they died? That might be
Yeah.
a 2-year thing.
That's the 2 year.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
That
Yep,
would probably
yep.
be the 2-year thing.
Yep, exactly. But it can be in any of the zoning districts, commercial, industrial, residential,
Yeah,
agricultural,
Wherever the land's available.
and like Holliston's. These are the,
They're
where
spread
they're
out.
pushed around town.
Do
you
we
know?
have, we don't have any adult community, 55 and over communities in Douglas, do we right now?
not that I know.
Not as of
The
today?
only thing that we
We
have
don't.
is like Riddlebrook, and
Yeah,
but that's
not the same.
not really the same.
So, these, like I say, these pretty much
Yeah,
both the
right,
same
right.
Berlins and Hollistons. But if we were gonna do this, we'd have to get somebody like Bobrowski to
Yeah.
come up with the plan, you
Well,
know, come up
I
with the
think
zone.
My
zoning.
So what are the next
own feeling
steps
would be, not so much, basically, we'd have to run it by them, but I tell you, I'd like to just go down and steal everything that Plymouth has got. Because
Can you?
why not?
I mean, he's getting the stuff from the other towns.
Yeah,
I don't see
right.
why we couldn't
We
grab the
couldn't
same.
go to-
We just need the same one from them.
Right.
Did you pull those off the web?
Yeah,
Okay, so just probably do a quick Google on Plymouth and see if you can find.
Oh, yeah.
Their contract
This
and
is what I
everything.
pulled off of here. I'm sure it would be easy. to
Actually, you
do.
know where you can get it is the registry, the land registry,
Right.
probably for they're in Plymouth County then.
Right, yeah.
so
So-
here's the rules about occupancy that are in the zoning law. Each unit in a senior development shall be occupied by at least one person 55 or older. Children under the age of 18 may not reside in a senior residential dwelling unit for more than 6 months in any 9-month period. In the event of the death of the qualifying owner, a senior resident dwelling unit, foreclosure or otherwise involuntary transfer such as court order or a senior residential dwelling unit which creates a disqualifying transfer,
Yeah.
a 2-year exemption shall be allowed.
We'll have to go and bring it in front of the
Yeah,
lawyer
yeah,
and have
yeah,
him
yeah.
probably cobble together multiple of these to probably pull together one that we like. But even before I think we get to that step though,
Yeah.
if we grab the Plymouth one, we probably go set up a conversation with Matt and Bill. And I think just, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be official. It's just let's go have a conversation with them and see what they want to do. I don't know if you want to take lead on
Yeah.
that.
I'd like to see you go down and take a look at this place first.
In Plymouth?
Yep.
Okay.
Here's one of the things it was talking about, I just pulled this off of the web, and it says, because of its success, Pine Hills is often viewed as a prototype for creating homes and communities, not just building houses. The new and innovative zoning and land principles had a direct impact on land use patterns in the town of Plymouth in general. Then it says, the Pine Hill as prototype reaches well beyond the local area. Stockholm-based Sandska, one of the world's largest construction companies, sends an executive on a mission to tour the world for 6 months, benchmarking the very best of community. And Pine Hills was the top example.
So it's called Plymouth Pine Hills?
Pine Hills, yeah, it's in Plymouth.
Pine Hills,
Yeah.
55 and
Yeah.
over. There we go.
And it has high density, there's no doubt about it.
Let me see if I can find it online. Oh yeah, here we go, the Pine Hills. It pulls right up, it's the first thing that pulls up. And they go for the
I
mid
was-
fives, but that's Plymouth.
Yeah, right.
So.
I was just thinking, there's one in Uxbridge, there's a lot of units in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what I want to do is, the difference between the Uxbridge one that I know of right now
Yeah.
is it sounds like those are standard lots with standard.
Yeah, they might
it's
be a little
it's
smaller, but they
standard for the most part.
Yeah, they're pretty
I
standard.
want to find out about that new one going in right now. I'm
Yeah.
curious
See
if
if
that's
it's
maybe
condo,
tied more to the Pine
yeah,
Hill. It's not,
yeah.
it's individual houses
Right,
just
right.
really close to each other,
Right,
which I think
right.
is closer to the Pine
Yeah,
Hills thing.
yeah.
So I can ask my friend about a little more about that info. And let's investigate this one also.
And-
Whether I go down, I'm not sure yet if I can make it down there, but their website
Yeah.
seems to be very full of everything.
You know, and one of the things too that I don't think that we should shy away from for senior housing could be 2 or 3 story units. They have to put elevators in.
That is condos when you go to that point then,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, condo is a form of ownership. It's not necessarily a form of building,
Okay, fair enough.
you know?
Yeah, you can go it was not even duplex then, what would you call it? It's just,
Yeah, you can take a duplex and
Convert it
make
into a condo if you
ownership
want out of it. Yeah, true.
Well, the ones that we have up here in, what do they call it? Eagle's View?
Mm-hmm.
Off of, those are condos. Now, if you ride through there, they look like all single-family homes.
oh, that's funny. In Pine
But they-
Hills, they have tons of builders. There's not just one
Oh,
builder
yeah,
that did
yeah,
it. It
yeah.
looks like everybody
Oh, yeah.
has a hand in it.
Oh, they have a lot of different.
Everybody
places.
from the Toll Brothers,
And it's
Mackenzie.
not, Pine Hill is not all over 55, okay?
No, there's a piece of it. I
They-
see that.
part
And they
of
also
it
have
is.
a whole shopping area built
Oh,
into it.
definitely.
And I see
And all
what
of
they
these
did.
things keep getting built up and everything.
Yeah, there was this. So a few other places around the country that, like when I travel for work and stuff, they have like these almost like self-built, like city in a city type of
Mhm,
things,
right,
where it's
exactly,
like
yep,
shopping,
yep.
and above it is all the housing,
Yep,
and then
yep, yep.
it's all, and then it's only like within a few square blocks.
Yep,
but it's
exactly,
crazy what they.
yep.
It's almost what they're trying to do in Natick with the Natick
Yep.
Mall, but it's not quite as elegant as
Yeah.
some of these other ones have done.
Well, kind of what, when you talk about the little shops and the houses up above, it's kind of what was done before we had zoning.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's true,
You know,
actually.
before all the planners came in and said, oh no, we gotta do it different, you know? And
So,
we're gonna have the whole things here and the houses there and,
I'll take the action item to research this more, learn
Yeah.
more about this. I think it still is worth it to set up some time though with Matt and Bill anyways, just to run it by them.
just to run it by, because I think, you know, if you could get a big density in there, number one, it'd bring a lot of tax
Well,
money.
12 acres, let's just do some quick
Yeah,
math on it.
yeah.
If you say 12 acres,
Right.
let's take away 3 acres out of that for standard
Yeah.
roads and borders and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You're now left with 4 acres down, so you're left with 8 acres.
Yeah,
And realistically, let's just say you can get 3 houses per acre.
right, yep,
Roughly, if you want to
Yeah,
do some
yeah.
density. So you're talking right there, 24-ish houses out of that.
and I think you could get more density than that.
So I'm just being on the safe
Yeah.
side, but you get 24 houses out of it, out of the 12 acres roughly.
Right.
So you're getting a house per every half acre. If you
Right.
look at what we're asking for in the town now, it's a
Yeah.
house per 2 acres.
Right, well, they'll see downtown as half acre, but,
They would
I
be.
think we can go.
So 24 would be a minimum, even 32 would be
Yeah, so
better.
if you had.
And what type of taxes would you
let's
pull out of those? You would
say-
say they're 300,000 each?
Yeah, say if you were at 300, 30 times 300, what are you getting there?
I was gonna say, so what's 300,000 gonna drive for taxes right now?
300 is about.
Pre-override.
About, what, $4,500?
$4 grand or
Yeah,
something
but
like
let's
that.
say 4 grand,
4 grand, post override 5 or 6, but whatever.
yeah,
So 30 times 4 is what you're gonna be pulling
yeah.
in.
It's more than putting something on the corner, a gas station on the corner.
Oh, 100%, because the
Yeah.
density of the,
Yeah.
no.
And the thing is, there's nothing to say that they wouldn't put a little convenience store on the corner or some other little thing.
Well, that would be the
Because-
conversation, because if he carved off the corner of it, because the nice thing with that property is it wraps all the way around that house that's
Right,
there right
yep,
now.
yep.
So he has more, the majority of the acreage is actually not that corner. The majority of the acreage is behind that
It's
house
behind it all around,
and
right,
over to
yep.
the extended area over there. So he technically could subdivide that property up and put something on the
Right.
corner there and then do something around it and make that the access way in,
Yeah.
even through past that
And you know, there's
thing.
nothing to say that at that point, that the Classic Envelope wouldn't be willing to get some of their property into something like that, because they built up to him over at that end, and I don't see what
Do
use
they?
have
There are
for
houses
that.
in between.
No, they're behind, the house, they're behind
So
those
does the land
houses.
actually wrap behind the houses?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I was
Goes
thinking it was,
behind
okay.
those houses.
Okay.
So I was looking at the density, and this is Holliston's.
Yeah.
The total number of dwelling units should not exceed 5 times the net developable area of the tract.
Yeah.
So I mean, that means you could have a
Right.
wide area or
Well, that also depends on when they consider a developable area.
Right,
What's the
that's-
minimum there for
Yeah,
each
You
zoning?
know, that's something that they put in all
It's
these
language,
things, and I
yeah.
don't think we have to worry about that. That's like they always don't want to see too much density. But you know, if you get density with over 55, you've got a group of people who, now you got more, you know, they keep looking for more rooftops, more people to be able to get something. You've got a group of people who really not going to consume very many services.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody thinks that the elderly are all poor, but not.
No, there's just certain people that like to say that they're on
Right.
fixed and all that. And,
Right.
you know,
And
when
yeah,
you
well,
retire, you're on
They're
fixed, quote
income,
unquote.
but it doesn't mean that
That you're
they're,
poor because of it.
right,
Yeah.
right, that they.
Fixed does not
that
equal
they-
poor.
They do have disposable income. I mean, not all of them, obviously.
yeah.
So the minimum lot size for a senior
Yeah.
residential area is 15 acres,
Yeah.
right? It says, however, the minimum lot size can be 5 acres if it's located within.
So we're not even close to all that,
Yeah.
though.
It's within 1,000.
So I wouldn't mimic this one
Yeah, right.
for that.
But
But there are other ones. So I'm going to investigate, look into the Uxbridge one. I'll look into Pine Hills too.
Yeah.
I'll see, you know, if there are other ones like that. And then we got to figure out when we can actually try. I'll set up an email with Matt and Bill
Yeah.
just to find out how we want to discuss this.
But what we definitely have to do is scrub out of people's minds the thought that you have to have these wide streets, that you have to have these big lots, that you have to.
But if it's in a
density.
development, it's a development conversation at that point, right?
Right.
This is not like we're going to make the whole town into this super
Right.
dense. The town is, there's no way Douglas is ever going to get dense on
Right,
anything.
well, for one thing, the only way you can have this type of density is where you have water and sewer.
Exactly.
Is if you don't
Because you
have
can't
water
do
and sewer, you
the
can't-
wells.
you can't get the
Wells and
septic.
septic won't work.
You can't get the septic.
I was talking to Bill Cundiff, and he said Dan Heaney,
Yeah,
oh, no, Louis wanted to build, or started to build an over 55
yeah.
place, and he couldn't sell them. So he took the requirement out. and he just
Yeah.
sold
Couldn't
them.
sell the places.
There was no demand, or there wasn't enough demand.
I
for
have a
them.
feeling right now it's probably different because what you're
Yeah.
finding now is baby boomers are obviously, you know, that whole
From-
age group is transitioning into the 55 and over at minimum, if not even some Gen X people. So you have more people that are heading towards that now.
I think it also depends on what it's like. I mean, if
Right.
it's a nice place.
Right,
you're gonna have
exactly.
It'll be desired. you
Okay.
know.
So-
It depends on what you
Good
put in,
idea.
and maybe some few amenities and stuff, and I think people would be more drawn to the condo type of ownership as far as having someone take care of all of
Mm-hmm.
their property and their streets and their lawn and,
So when you spoke to Dan, was
Yeah.
Dan interested in just selling to somebody that wants to do this? Or would Dan actually be one of the
oh, I think he
front
would do it
men
either
for
way.
it?
I
Okay.
think he would do it either way.
Didn't know where his interest level was, so.
Yeah, you know, Dan's not that old. He's
Hmm.
only, Dan's maybe 62, 63.
Okay. It's a big project to take on, no matter what you do, but
I don't, true, he'd probably probably work with someone on
he'd,
it.
yeah, he'd
I mean,
partner up on it. I think he's already partnered up with somebody anyways through
I think
ownership
he
of it.
has, right,
So,
so.
He'd
but
have to validate.
At least it wasn't like he'd say, that's not something I would be interested in, you know?
Okay.
It's like when they go over to Pine and they have all these grand ideas from him, meanwhile, he's running a gravel pit. You know, it's like, oh, you can have a million grand ideas, but I'm running my gravel pit, you know?
So
Yeah.
this occupancy requirement about 55, one over 55, and
Oh, there'd be something
and the 2
written
years.
into it.
The
Okay.
the state has approved these bylaws.
Right, right.
And the state has
Yeah.
examined this. There's been some suits and everything
Yeah.
else, but that's legal.
See, that is
to
the
do it
only
this way.
way that you can, that over 55 is the only way that you can do age discrimination. It's the only way. Other than that, you cannot discriminate. Say, I don't want any kids here, you can't do that. Absolutely
so you
cannot
have to build a
do that.
specialized community
This
just
is
for
the
that.
only place that, over 55 is the only place that
And I bet you
can
there's a certain
discriminate.
percentage also of towns and or state that they want to be that type of zoning.
Right.
So.
Now, the other thing too is I can tell you, the very first thing you're going to hear when you bring something like this, well, we should have a certain section of it be affordable so that we can meet our number 10.
But right up the road, we already have the 43B
Right.
going
Well,
in.
the other thing too is that why should we have any of them be affordable? Because then we can't tax them out at the high rate if they have to sell for half the price.
Right.
So we want to be able to tax them as high as we can. The second thing too is.
Which
once-
board would bring that question up? Is it still zoning or?
Yeah, well, anybody in town,
Everything's-
everybody will bring it up, because that's what they all talk about. I just know where their minds are.
I'm not a part of this
Yeah,
discussion, so that's
so
why
I
I'm
know where
wondering.
this is gonna come.
Yeah.
The other thing too is, I'll tell you what happens with over 55 is usually these people that are going to the affordable things, there's some thing where they have to have like a certain income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have to have a certain income. They also have an asset level threshold a lot of times, like you can't have more than 75,000 in assets and stuff.
Okay.
And then usually, they can't own a home. Well, you know what this is going to appeal to? This is not appealing to a first-time home buyer.
No, this is
somebody that
downsizing
goes,
of, yeah.
They're appealing to, I'm sick of going upstairs to the bedroom.
Okay.
I
So,
did see an affordable clause
Yeah.
in one of these. You have to have some affordable
Yeah.
housing.
I
I'm sure
see.
some of them do, some of them don't. It
It
probably
was
is dependent.
small.
Yeah,
So it sounds like we need to have a few follow-ups. Again, I will go and set up an email with Matt and
Yeah.
Bill with you guys. Is Dan expecting a follow-up at this point or not yet? Should we bring him into the conversation?
I think we should.
So let's include Dan. I'll have his
Yeah.
email. You can
Yeah.
forward me his email, or I can find it online probably.
I just give him a call because I got.
I don't know Dan, so
Yeah.
but so I'll set it up with you through
Yeah.
email, and then you can
Yeah.
give him a call and
Give
let
him
him
a
know.
Yeah, the affordable I saw was related to the 43B
Yeah, right.
zoning. So
And
that's not this.
Because what they're gonna say is, that, you can go in with a 43B and you can override the zoning, which is what they do. That's why they do the affordable. They're overriding
But
zoning.
that we don't. Let's fix
We
the
wanna
zoning for
fix the
this.
zoning for
Yeah,
this.
no,
We don't
let's
want them to
fix
have
the
to
zoning.
Those are gonna be little matchbox apartments of some sort, affordable ones.
Oh, the
Yeah.
43B.
Yeah, the
Well-
43B ones.
No, you see, what you don't realize is when you do a 43B and you say, okay, instead of having to build on 2-acre lots, I'm gonna build on half-acre lots. Okay, so they're giving you a deal on that because you're gonna be able to get more density, okay? But they say, okay, you have to a certain amount of affordable. Well, you can't say, okay, this house here is gonna be 2,000 square feet, but we're only gonna do an 800 square feet. Oh, no,
You gotta make 'em all-
they have to be the same. The only difference is that, okay, maybe the one that is not affordable may have granite countertops, and they have
it's the grade of the
marble floors inside and
finish grade.
everything, but
Yeah.
outside.
Framing is probably the same,
Oh, yeah,
probably,
that's all
but
the
you just
same.
can't. It's
Size
the
is
finish of
same,
it.
the roofs are the
Yeah,
same.
plus you can't live in one of those 43B units unless you're making less than 55,000.
There are restrictions
Right,
on
right,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
there are
Something
restrictions.
like that. So you're not gonna get
Right,
people that could afford something for a high rent.
right.
Okay.
Not gonna be.
So I think we have follow-ups on this. It sounds like first week in May. Let's try to get the conversations with Matt and Bill
Right.
and Dan out of the way before
Yeah.
that, so we can follow up
Be
to
nice,
see what
yeah.
the next step is there.
All right.
I think at some point, probably after the May meeting, and that week is when also the town vote's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a busy week.
That's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
But
with
we're
that,
also
yeah.
going to be. So I moved us to Thursdays. You guys saw that officially.
Yes.
So we're
Yeah.
not on Tuesdays anymore. So it should help with your finance meetings and
Yeah,
the
right,
selectmen meetings.
Right, so it's gonna be Thursday,
First Thursday of every
first
month.
Thursday, okay, okay.
So it would be the week of April 30th. That's a Monday, which means it would be the following week, which is
Okay.
the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, I think,
Yeah,
roughly.
Okay, okay,
So let's plan on a follow-up then on this for that.
okay.
Okay, good. So that sounds like a lot of conversation happening around that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like it's good possibilities. I do think if we ever proceeded, though, we should have the zoning bylaws
Well,
modified.
no, I think what we need to do
Yeah.
is if we can get Matt and Bill on
Yeah.
board, sounds like Dan for the most part on board, I think then we have to pull zoning in for a conversation.
Yep,
And that'll be a separate, whether, we probably have to go to one of their meetings. I
Yeah.
will assume, or we can ask the head of them to come in here to actually have a conversation, however you want to do it.
no, we'd go to whatever,
Bill?
because it would be,
I talked to Bill, and Bill said, yeah, could do it. Sounds like a good idea to him.
Yeah, Bill's the, yeah.
At our
So,
last meeting, too, Cliff Van Reed and his wife Barbara
yeah,
showed
have to
up.
show up.
They came by and they listened to it.
I think
They
they were looking for someplace else, but they found us.
they walked into our meeting, and so they were pleased. It sounded like a great idea.
Yeah,
okay.
Cliff has been.
So you want to help?
Yeah,
You
right.
probably retired for some of that, but, okay, good. What other topics do you guys want to cover today? I had one that I
Oh,
wanted
okay,
to run
let's-
by you guys.
What is it?
So I was thinking with all the town things going on, that it might be good to work with Matt on, this is a piece of it, but probably
Yeah.
putting some type of a plan in place, a long-term plan, not to go hire CM, RPC
Yeah, right,
again,
right.
or like, what if we figured out a few different options that we can track them down and say, in 5 years from now, we want to go have these things happen.
Yeah.
55B, wow, 55 and over development,
Yeah.
you know, one of those in the community somewhere with this type of density. We want to go, you mentioned Pine, we want to go track down Pine and figure out, is there a way for us to make this happen, or just drop it and let's
Yeah.
just put a finality somewhere in
I
there
don't think
to
we'd
it.
drop it, but I don't think it's gonna happen as soon as anybody thinks.
But the point I'm
Yeah.
getting at is like, you know, okay, so if it, but what is happening
Keep it in the
even mean?
sights.
Is there a time frame on it? Is it, okay, you know, Pine comes back and says, realistically, it's not for 10 years, come talk to me in
Yeah.
8. You know, just like if we can just put, instead of people like continuously spinning these up. Also, you know, trying to hunt down the Granutex and all these other ones and really getting our arms around some of these properties
Does
that
anybody
are just
know how
hanging out
big
there.
Granutech is?
How
The
big
tax bill wasn't big
facility
on it.
What's that?
is. I've been in the facility a
Yeah, you know
couple
how
of
many
times.
square feet you're using?
Gee, it's gotta be 10,000 or.
Has anybody got a
More.
listing on it, or do you know?
No, I haven't
don't
seen
think
a
so.
for sale listing on it. I still see cars going in and out there.
I
don't know what they're
suspect
doing
it's
in
an
it.
estate thing, you know?
Oh,
It's
that could be
probably,
a while,
it's probably 20,000 square feet, because the buildings in back are
yeah.
big too.
Yeah, I mean, I drive by that, I want to say a few times a week, just because I live off Monroe. And for me, I look at that every time I drive by it, I'm like, two things can happen. One is they have a lot of open property there.
Right.
You can go and build more warehouses and then use more of that, which just gains us square footage. The other one is to actually bring a business in there that actually is going to drive people, right? Which is to turn it into a brewery or do one of those other, you know, funky
Yeah, right.
things that would attract people to make the town more attractive, not just go and put another warehouse in. So I think, you know, those are the types of things. I mean, we've done okay, but we haven't done probably as good a job as we could at probably putting a plan together. So I'm
You know-
thinking
you know what
maybe
the-
we try doing that.
The problem with Granutech is there's no water there.
That's
And
okay.
it's not for,
Town
not
water.
for the drinking,
Right.
the sprinklers.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, usually you can pump a well in and get all you need for drinking water, because
Yeah.
people don't
And
use that
septics,
much.
no,
They
that's not
don't
a
use that
problem.
much water and septic. It's those sprinklers, that's where the problem comes in.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad place for a market of some sort.
So there's a lot of things we probably but without just going into that one, I think maybe not. This is not a today thing. So
Yeah.
let's come back and think about this maybe for May. But are there a list of things that we want to track down? Whether they're ideas I see on Facebook continuously. I think I've seen about 10 people bring up, should we bring marijuana facilities into town? Not just that other growing one, but selling ones now.
Yeah. Oh,
Uxbridge is
sure.
actually I think going down that road too right now.
Let extra have it.
It's not just it. I think I see them popping up in every town. Is the discussion.
I don't know about selling it.
But these are things you're going to see people bringing to the discussions.
I guess you're seeing people our age and know what we think of that. Not much.
I'm throwing it out there because I see the community talking about it. But that's my point is we have to go and probably take all ideas and at least be able to say in 5 years from now, do we see any of these things happening and which ones actually fall out of that, shake out of that discussion. And we got to probably just stay hard on them.
Right.
I'm tired of hiring I think every time that I've seen we hire a state group or some type of group, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
It's not whether it's a waste of money or not, it's good data, but nothing happens.
I
So how do we
Yeah.
take the next step?
have a thought for someone who's looking for some property, but I don't want to bring it up on open
That's fine.
thing. But
So again,
would
if
it
we
be
build a
all right
plan,
if I approach someone who had some property and try to get them together with someone?
Totally, I
don't
think
want-
that's
I
part
don't
of our
want- I
job.
don't want to, do something I'm not supposed to do.
no, I don't think that. I mean, you as a citizen of the town, I can't see why you can't go and say, "Hey, this and this person,
Yeah.
this person talk."
Okay.
That's development, right? To
On
me.
behalf of the Economic Development Commission, yes. I would say, see if you can promote it. or-
Okay.
Do it up,
Make
just
something
get it done.
happen.
But I think we were supposed to get a list from the Worcester. Was it CMRPC was supposed to give us a list, and I don't think I ever saw that list.
Did they have some type
I-
of meeting the other day?
Yeah, I have a copy of this economic.
I had that
asset
too, but that
Yeah.
wasn't.
What we
like-
need to know is, where's the land?
It was a simple question I think we asked,
Where's
right?
the land? Where is it? What's available?
And I don't think I ever saw here's the list.
Yeah.
Just take the list and you can work with it. I never
Right.
saw that come out of it. It was whatever that thing is, but that wasn't even the list.
He did have an addendum, right? The addendum had some kind of a list.
I have it in my email. I'd have to pull it up.
Yeah, I've got the file.
I was asked
At
by,
home.
by someone in town, said, what exactly have we gotten for our money from these people? It's hard for me to say. I don't know.
No, I'll agree with that. I think at this point, it's been,
You know?
looking back at all the studies we have
Yeah.
from even 2002,
Yeah, right.
they're just studies. They haven't turned into anything
Right.
beyond that. Now, you
I
can
think
say
it-
it's part of, NIMBY and part of this and part of that,
Yeah.
but I think there's more to it than that at this point. So, I like the idea of the 55. It could be the beginning of maybe a plan that, again, we throw some other things on there, whatever they are.
If we're gonna, if
We
we're
also
gonna-
have that mobile property, I think that we own now. The town,
Right. but
I don't know
there's-
where that went.
Well, the town now owns it.
'Kay.
There's a restriction on it for like 10 years.
On the entire property?
Yeah, on building anything on it.
Okay.
Because my thing, what I said the other night at the finance committee meeting is, let's sell the gravel and bring the money in.
Turn another pit.
Oh, everybody goes, oh, they don't think, but I see, I know they want to protect the wells. Well, don't run right near the wells. Well, let's sell the rest of it. It's
It was a
lovely.
large, how many acres was it? Like, not 50, was it?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of.
Oh, if it's 50 acres, you can easily stay away from wells, but
Yeah, let's sell the gravel and level it to a point where
So I
it can
think
be developed at some point.
if I was to say, let's build a 5-year plan,
Yeah.
some of them are, and pick out the top 10 properties that we
Right.
know right now and investigate. And, okay, so we have, I call it the mobile property, I don't remember the name of it, but let's say we have the 50 acres. What are the, what can we do, what can't we do?
Right.
Is not kind of a list.
Right.
And then if we can go off of that and say, well, these restrictions, yada, 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 okay, then what can we do? And just start now. I mean,
Right.
if we just spend some time probably in each of the meetings pecking at some of those lists, hopefully in a few months, we can probably have something workable between Matt and Bill and say, guys, which one of these can we start working?
Yep.
And maybe even actually have a Board of Selectmen meeting. That's what the town's looking for, I think. Now, mind you, I think if we start having these types of conversations, hopefully we can attract more people to come and help. That's the other piece of this. We need help. 3 of us, even plus the 4th new guy, is just
Yeah.
not gonna,
The new guy, what are his qualifications? Do you know anything about
I
him?
don't actually know. I can do a Google on him, I haven't actually done that yet.
Yeah. Just
Based on his email,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably say he's a computer geek like me, because
Oh,
it's a
okay.
computer-like email.
yeah.
That's the only thing I can guess out of him, so.
One of the things I thought of when I was looking at
Yeah.
Holliston's and Berlin's is that you can have the senior residential district in any of the town zoning districts.
Yeah.
In Douglas, we've got state forest open space.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Great idea.
I don't think you found the loophole in that one.
Yeah, it would be great if the state would let us do it.
Yeah, right. Mm.
I mean,
Except for.
there is the other question, I actually thought about this on the ride over, which is there a state level economic development group, or
Yeah.
whatever you wanna call them, that maybe we should start interacting with that we probably never dealt with? We've only dealt with CMRPC
Yeah,
and
right,
Worcester
right.
Business.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not state
Good
level,
question.
right? Those are, I think, county level at best, if
Yeah,
that.
right, yeah.
Is there somebody up there? Do we reach out to Fatman and ask?
Yeah, maybe that's what we
Like-
should do. Grass Batman or McKenna, yeah. There
Can't
are two
hurt.
reps. Yeah.
They apparently came to a meeting last week, I think, right?
I think they
School
were at the
meeting,
school
the
committee
school
meeting,
committee
yeah.
meeting. I don't know.
Because that's.
This isn't even a grant conversation. This is literally, is there a group in the state of Massachusetts under the governor that focuses on economic development as people that talk to towns?
Yep.
That simple.
Yeah, maybe we get some free information.
Oh, Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce will tell you this.
So apparently, so you and I sent, you didn't get a chance probably to reply back to Bill,
No, I
but
didn't.
we both sent in some answers to those questions.
Yeah.
There was a meeting, I guess Monday, I think it was, or maybe not yet, but he had to
Yeah.
submit this by Monday.
He gave us an 11th hour.
Yeah, basically, where he had to go to a meeting on Monday where to have some discussions with Blackstone Valley.
Yeah.
So I would be interested, maybe I'll email him with copy of you guys to find out what happened out of that meeting. Because maybe they're trying something there too. We're not, the funny thing is, we're no different than any other town around us.
Oh, that's for sure. Well, that's,
Every town's having the exact same problem. Upton,
Oh.
Uxbridge, Sutton,
well, this is,
Oxford, Webster,
This is
they're
one of
all,
the things that, when we're at the finance committee meeting, they're saying that, the problem that we have, that people are starting to leave the schools because we're not putting enough money into the schools. Well, I don't know where they're gonna go. But
Unless they
take a
move
look
out of
at-
Massachusetts.
Yeah, the other towns are just as bad.
Yeah.
They're all going through the same thing. Northbridge is cutting teachers.
and so's Rhode Island. It's not like it's just a mass thing, it's the area.
They're all in the same. They're all in the same boat. You know,
It's at the
part of
state
it is
level.
The state has cut back the amount of money they're giving us on the. Well, they took what they take 250 acres up on the Douglas line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the taxes on that were $50,000 a year. Now it belongs to the state. You know what we're getting back on the state forest? 25,000 less than we were getting before. So now we're down by 75,000, and they got our industrial land. Boy, they did us a lot of favors, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's,
So that's why I said maybe, I've never talked to, I don't know, Fatman, but I'll be willing to just reach out to him. And I'll copy you guys in all
he
these
seems like a
emails.
hard-working fellow. He
So-
and
Yeah,
McKenna.
I think they're all pro-economic development.
I would also copy Matt on those types of
Yeah,
discussions,
right, yeah.
obviously. So that was it. I'm thinking, so come next time, if you guys want to start thinking about if we were to build an actual 5-year plan with just, it's a bucket of ideas that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we know over the next 3 to 4 months,
Right.
we're going to narrow down to hopefully some actionable things that we can go and push with Matt in the town.
Well,
If you guys want, 55 and over, got a check, we're going to put that in there.
that would kind of work into their 5-year plan.
And that's what I was thinking, because I heard that they're kind of working, we
Right.
have the whole override 5-year time frame conversation going on. I think we need to probably have something that aligns to that, because we can't just sit by and watch
Right.
that go on without any attempt at economic development in the same time frame.
But I think we have to be realistic too, Bill. If they think at the end of 5 years that we're gonna have enough economic development and not to need another override, they're.
No, and I don't want to get into that part of this. This is
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
to do our part.
Right.
How do we bring in X number of hundreds of thousands of tax base, and whether it is the 55 and over, because that
Yeah.
could bring in 150,000, whatever the number would have been.
Right.
Or can we go and actually say, well, we're going to convert these 2 properties, and guess what? Maybe 10 years from now, Pine will be ready.
Yeah.
And that puts us on an actual longevity roadmap that says in 10 years from now, we can go reopen that and finally go do this gigantic thing that will fix the town for a longer time period. We just got to put a plan in place.
Yeah, I guess one thing in the back of my mind is the marketability of the over 55
Right,
zoning,
right. Because some-
would in
some-
fact this be something that people would really want to do?
Well, this is the
Some
thing. I mean,
builder would
if
want to
you-
do it?
Well, Dan's, I thought,
Yeah.
saying,
Well,
okay.
Well, the other thing too, is if you have the zoning in place, we're not gonna take away the underlying zoning, okay? We're
Oh,
putting another
yeah.
option out
There's
there.
an option over it.
Another type
option
of a
over
zone
there.
that you can create.
So,
Something like
now,
this.
will it happen? If it's not economically feasible, no, it's not gonna happen. Right.
Yeah.
So it's,
That's why I want to go. I'm
Yeah.
going to talk. I'm going to look at the Pine Hills one, but I also want to investigate the thing that's going up in Uxbridge, because
Right.
based on what you described,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's very similar.
right,
And I'd be curious about talking to that builder over there, because if he's building right here,
yeah.
it
What's
might not.
They don't have water and sewer now, I don't think. Well, they might have sewer.
No, the courthouse is right up the road. They're not far from water and sewer, as far as I know.
Yeah,
It doesn't show up in the zoning laws online.
What doesn't?
Uxbridge's.
It's like going in. It's being built now. They
Yeah.
literally. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, because I know my friends and parents are going to be moving in.
do you know who
in
the builder
June.
is?
Oh, but I can. Let me go actually find out right now.
It doesn't show up, that they list the areas on the web, and, the ones I saw are just, it's just a big
Are you
cap.
sure it's an over 55? It might be a,
Pretty sure.
which I think we have available too, where you leave a certain amount of open space and you can, you can get cluster development. Maybe it's a cluster
And
development.
it might not be 55, but
It might
the
be
design
close.
of it
Yeah.
sounded like what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's the same as the thing that's coming, is build a more the village type of thing. People interacting with their neighbors and stuff.
The encouraging thing is other towns have done it.
Yep.
It's a feasible thing to do,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it right now.
And for us to come up with something like this, you'd need a pro to do it. Although these two look like they copied each other
Oh, well, that's what they
practically, you
do.
know?
They all copy each other.
Yeah.
We could probably,
Something what you copy, you don't know if it's the best, how it's worked out, what you are copying.
right, you need somebody like Bobrowski,
Yeah.
a legal zoning type
Right,
guy to
right.
come through and do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it and get it to you guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I should text him now. Maybe he'll answer me. Okay, so that was kind of what I wanted to bring, is to see if we can put a plan together, and it sounds like we have a starting point with what you guys started working on last time.
So should we vote on the minutes?
Yeah, sorry, we jumped way ahead, but let's, who wants
I'll make
to?
a motion to accept the minutes of March 6th.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Good, minutes sealed. By the way, total side note, I don't know if you guys realize this, but all the videos, I thought they were only available on cable. They're
Yeah.
actually available on YouTube now also,
Oh, okay.
which is easier for
Yeah.
people like myself to get to because I don't even have the cable.
But
I
you can
actually-
go on the town website and look at
Yeah,
it.
You can, but that was my point, is they're actually on YouTube, which makes it
Well,
real easy.
I finally, I got Charter now, so I can watch it on
still DirecTV.
my TV.
Any other topics we want to bring up?
Think we're all set?
Okay. With that being said, motion,
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.